We got Nike, George Tsilis joining me as we get some more earnings here. Not overlooked, GT. I don't know. It might be. Who knows? Nike's been a dog for so long. I think people might have forgotten about it.
Yeah.
3-year chart is nasty.
Yeah,
on
I mean, it is. I just look at it. It's like this melting ice cube that just continues to get smaller and smaller over time and price. And it's really done nothing even over the last 5 years. It's pretty remarkable and actually very, very disappointing if you've been a long-term investor in the name and the brand. And of course, it's really an iconic global brand, and it's kind of a sad situation for Nike, at least performance-wise. But I haven't seen the earnings just yet come out.
It's out. I got you.
But
revenue beat estimates 11.27 billion versus 11 flat. Hello, Nike. Okay, not a bad little beat there. There it is. See, I don't think that was expected at all. That's a pretty nice little beat. 270 mil on 11 billion. All right. In terms of the overall trajectory and growth, the numbers are not terribly impressive still. The earnings also seem like they've deteriorated quite a bit. 54 cents versus 77 a year ago. That's quite a bit of deterioration. But I know that was generally expected. I think for the most part was the profit decline. By the way, that revenue of 11.3 billion marks a 10% decline, a 9% decline. So, I mean, it's a nice beat for sure, but it's not good. It's not good direction.
I mean, even just before going into this, I mean, the estimates are so low, you would think that eventually it'll find sort of an inflection bottom. It's a tough one because if you look at the profits of the business, I'll just start with that. I mean, because I'm still looking at the numbers as they're coming in, but over the past 5 years, the profit margins have actually been steady, and that's what's been sad about Nike. It's really been just an attrition of growth in both sales and earnings growth. So they are profitable. Profit margins, like I said, are around 10%, consistent. But sales just compared to 2022, I just used a random near-term couple of year average or look back at around 47 billion, now about 50 billion. So, sales are higher than slightly lower, but it's just been just really stagnant growth in sales as well as in earnings. I mean, even for the quarter, despite the beat, it was still, as you mentioned, down around 9 to 10%. And their strategy, which effectively was direct to consumer, that actually worked out for them, but it may have actually created a situation where the uniqueness of their product sort of dissipated. And I think that's also holdings because Nike is really a shoe company. I mean, 2/3 of their sales come from shoes, and the shoe space has been very competitive, particularly in the athletic wear space.
So competitive. I'm glad you left me on that note, George, because that's the part I'm most familiar with. I was desperate to buy myself some Nike basketball shoes. And they are just awful. They are, like, not to go grumpy old man here, but like just the LeBrons. The LeBrons are just the stupidest colors. They are just the absolute stupidest looking shoes. Like, I bought Chinese shoes. I bought Kyrie shoes. They look really cool. They're pretty comfortable. And I was ready to buy. You literally, maybe one of the colors online, but then you got to wait to order and stuff. But it's like they almost were like making a mockery. And I don't understand when there's so many good shoemakers today, why they think they have such an edge when they clearly don't. Like, creatively, I don't know what they're doing. Stupid.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. I mean, first off, I look at them. They have pricing power. They still do. But the volume of sales has obviously been in decline. And that's where the earnings growth and revenue growth, which are now in contraction, are. Profit margins, in other words, even though their revenues aren't growing as fast, they're not growing their costs as fast. So profit margins are really in line. That's where the sad story is. You can just clearly look at their income statements and declare that they really have, a marketing problem, a product problem, maybe somewhat of an inventory management problem.
Definitely.
It's just really an operational execution problem.
To find your size, I mean, this is the year 2025. I mean, it's crazy.
Yeah. Correct, and I think they're facing some competitive challenges from the European brands in China, and again, China's strategy for Nike had been very aggressive with the expectations, at least in 2025, to have more than 25% of total sales in China. So, that's again something they have to contend with.
Yeah. All right. So Nike is still having a very having a vision problem, but at least some of the deterioration was all expected. I mean, 9% down. It's hard to spin this positive, I think, for the company.
Yeah, definitely. And I think, when you look at Nike, here's the kicker.
Yeah, last thought.
It's kind of it is a unique brand. And it's trading at a unique brand forward multiple at around 31 times earnings.
But
when you have a company that's got no growth in sales and earnings, it's very expensive. And so it's always been trading at this high multiple. But even though the price is coming down, that multiple will stay elevated because earnings
totally
growth is moving in conjunction with price. Yeah.
Totally.
So it's a unique brand. Obviously, it's a basically story, but I'm not sure if this is the quarter in which they do that.
I don't think so. I mean, you nailed it basically there, is that they can't sell the stock fast enough. The value is not improving, and the earnings, the ratio is not coming down because the profits are disappearing. All right, we gotta jump. Thanks, George.